So our speaker today is somebody we know well and love well, and always has some great stories for us and some wisdom, some insights that you can take home with you. It's Dr. Jan Morgan.
It's not nice to make people cry right before they're going to stand up and talk. I love that piece. So thank you. May something that I say this morning find a place in your heart, that it may go with you and enrich you and enrich your life. Have the book the right way up, Jan. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? There's nothing enlightening about playing small so that other people don't feel insecure around you. We're all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us. It's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Those are the words of Marianne Williamson, and there's nothing in what she says that is new. Over 2,000 years ago, the master teacher told us, I am the light of the world. And we can follow that example. Walking, talking, being in a place of light. As tiny children, it's natural to shine our light. That's all we know. Visualize the face of a baby. Toothless smile, joy written all over it. Then life and learning how to fit in make shining our light a little less spontaneous. When we discover something we love that fills us with joy and satisfaction, then the light spills out. We want to share what we love, and that's when we plant the seed that will grow into the recognition of our life purpose. So living on purpose, what does that mean? What do you think it means? For me, it means leaving the world better than I found it. And there's a lot of leeway in this, spiritually, morally, emotionally, physically. Any or all of these, and more. I'd like to tell you a story, and I'm quite sure that many of you experienced the same experiences I had watching America's Got Talent. And I believe it was 2018 or 2019, when a man by the name of Michael Ketterer came on stage to sing. He was a pediatric psychic nurse and father of 6 children, all adopted from foster care. When he was asked why he decided to compete, he said, "It's hard to dream when you're a foster child. If my children can see their father stretch to reach his dream, it will show them that it's okay, that they too can stretch and reach their dreams." Michael was looking for affirmation that he did have the talent to become a professional singer. He got the affirmation from the audience, who wouldn't stop applauding. Even greater affirmation from the judges, who gave him a standing ovation. But the final accolade came from the sternest critic of them all, Simon Cowell, who pressed the golden buzzer for him. He was seeking acceptance and received the abundance and affirmation that he may only have dreamed of. Is Michael leaving the world better than he found it? I think so. I believe so. Through adoption, he and his wife are providing a home and a family for 6 orphaned children. By sharing his passion for music and performing, he gave them the example of shining his light. By stepping out on the America's Got Talent stage and daring to show the world his talent, he showed his children that they too could shine their light and live their lives on purpose. So what does living on purpose look like? It has as many faces as there are people. We might see someone who we admire who's sharing their gifts, and we think, I want to do that too. But if it's not nurturing us, if it's not in the marrow of our bones, we're just copying the talk. We're not walking it. But we may be inspired by another and then find that we really do share their passion. And then we're ready to shine. As we study the unity principles, we learn that each of us is a unique and individualized expression of the divine. We're perfectly acceptable in the eyes of God. We just sang a song that addressed that. We've spent our lives making God, our parents, our friends, our children love us. Learning to love ourselves can be a little more little more difficult, and it can be a new experience. Now our spiritual practice is focused on loving ourselves. And what I've learned is that we must be shining lights for ourselves before we can be it for others. If we don't have it within us, we have nothing to give. Every time we experience fear or self-rejection or guilt or hate, we're forgetting to shine our light. My childhood lights were the ability to sing and recite poetry, ad nauseum, ad lib. And I had a compassionate, loving heart. But my gift might not work for you. You have your own gift to give, one that no one else can give as well as you can. In a confrontation between a rock and a stream, the stream will always win. It wins because the stream is willing to explore new territory by simply surrendering to the law of gravity. It flows under and over and around the rock in order to follow its purpose. And its purpose is to be a stream and a river and ultimately an ocean. And so it is with the light and dark places. Darkness is simply the absence of light. And the light knows its purpose. He knows that its purpose is to join with other light to ultimately illuminate the universe. And there are times when we have the opportunity to shine love and light in the face of hate. Which brings to mind two friends of mine. They are friends and colleagues. They, as I, are religious science ministers, Reverend Dr. Stephen Albert and Reverend Dr. Abigail Albert. They moved to San Diego in 2003 and established what would ultimately become the All Faith Center. In 2004, they responded to a newspaper article requesting help planning the Baha'i World Religion Day, and thus began their journey into interfaith religion. In 2006, the group decided to combat fear through education by sharing their faiths, and the Poway interfaith team, Point, was formed. In 2014, Steve and Abigail built a labyrinth in their large garden and invited all the faith organizations to a grand opening. 17 different religious organizations were represented. People of all faiths, all creeds, all colors, gender, nationality. With Point, they are actively involved year-round, co-creating and sponsoring issues about racism, social justice, education, and other topics. They've stood with their Muslim friends and Jewish friends when harm has befallen a mosque or a synagogue. Several years ago, the Shabbat of Poway was attacked by a 19-year-old man who killed one woman, shot off several of the rabbi's fingers, and injured others. Point helped coordinate prayer vigils and stood vigil outside the synagogue while the service inside was held. Point clergy and members spoke at a press conference when a mosque was almost burned to the ground. And they're often called upon to be at such press conferences. There are times when they form human body rings around mosques to let the people inside know that they can pray in peace. In response to my question, what motivates your decisions? Our motivation to pursue interfaith work is the people and the belief we are all one in this world and are meant to know each other, accept each other, love one another, and to get along. We believe this is part of God's divine plan. We are friends with Muslims, Baha'is, Jews, Hindus, Buddhists, Unitarian Universalists, Mormons, Catholics, Protestants, Jains, Native Americans, Sikhs, and Wicca, as well as New Thought. As we work, play, and eat together, we share so many commonalities and know that the core of all faith is love. How we worship the God of our understanding is individual. There is no right or wrong. There's only different appearance, different versions, or different perceptions. Would you agree with me that Abigail and Steve are living on purpose? Imagine the experience of praying and singing with people of all faiths and traditions. Imagine the experience of encircling a synagogue or a mosque, literally putting your feet where your words are, so those inside know that they're safe. Imagine what it would look like if each one of us, not only in this room, not only in this community, or in this country, but across the world, would extend the bright light of our own divine being to illuminate the darkness and light the way for each other. If everyone allowed their light to shine out into the world, what if we all approached each other from a place of luminosity and safety? When enough people can hold this consciousness of light for humanity as a whole, only then will world peace become a reality. Would we not then be living on purpose? When we go about our daily lives conscious and aware of our impact on our beautiful blue planet, when we're gracious and respectful to those around us, when we're compassionate and caring towards all living things, when we're compassionate and caring towards ourselves, we're living on purpose. Doesn't require a spotlight or publicity coverage. Mother Teresa said, not all of us can do great things, but we can all do small things with great love. I'm going to leave you with a true story told me by one of my favorite people, Dr. Bob Luckin, a Science of Mind minister. Before being strapped to a bed in a long-term rehab, Jerry had been an outspoken man who never walked away from a drink or a fight. He spent his days sleeping, his nights in O'Malley's bar. How the fight started is a mystery. But if the nerves in Jerry's spine didn't heal, he'd be a quadriplegic for the rest of his life. There were things he wanted to say, but the fight had taken his voice. Jerry hated cats, rats, and pigeons. They were the top of his hate list. Everything in rehab was run down, worn out, taped together, except Slinger, a 5-year-old, 20-pound coon cat. Slinger picked and chose who he spent his time with. There was the spark of hope or of rage in Jerry's eyes. That was a magnet for Slinger. Each day he spent 3 to 4 hours sitting on Jerry's chest. Over time, rage turned to acceptance. Then acceptance turned to love. It took nearly 1 year for Jerry to totally recover. No one asked Jerry to visit the rehab weekly to help care for other patients, but he does. No one in Jerry's AA group understands why he called Slinger his recovery sponsor, but he does. Or how Slinger keeps him sober, but he does. Dr. Bob said, I question not the power of love. I accept it from all sources, since the source of all is God. How can we possibly challenge the fact that Slinger is shining his light and living with great purpose, carefully selecting his clients, persisting in his mission, or his course of treatment, however you perceive it? It appears he was divinely inspired as he went about his daily work with Jerry and with others. And what greater way of living with purpose than to change a life and influence another to do the same. Namaste.